Hello and welcome to round 1 of the season here for RP Season 4. This is the F2. We're live here for round 1 at Singapore. It's a wet qualifying session for the opening race of the season tonight. My name is Elite Shots and I'm joined by Alistair Bain. Welcome, Alistair.
Thank you. This is my first time commentating, so might be a bit dodgy.
Well, so far tonight, LT Cobalt is in the lead in the Red Bull. He is on provisional pole, currently in the horrible rainy conditions. We're not quite sure what the race is going to be like, but at the moment it is full wet for the drivers. Nobody going on the mediums just yet. It is a wee bit too wet for that, maybe later on in the session. But we're on board. We'll go on board with the Alfa Romeo of Willow, see where he can put his Alfa Romeo in the first qualifying session of the season. This is the second tier of RP Racing League. Coming round to start the final sector. It's not looking not too clean so far. He's struggling a wee bit. He's a bit off at the moment. Go on board with Jordan, very quick driver, know him from various other leagues. He's going to be one to watch out for out of all the people I'm seeing that I know. At the moment the Ferrari car number 93 does have damage at the moment, so he won't be improving his lap time at the moment. Very quick driver though, he's going to be one to watch out for pole position. Shanka, car number 6, the Williams. He's got damage as well. No one seems to be really on a lap at the moment. And Crackerjack has just gone up to P3. Good lap from the Mercedes man. See if anyone else is going to be setting quicker lap times than the 58.4 set by LT. That is the time to beat at the moment. We'll go on board with Shadow, the Racing Point driver, for his lap. As you can see, it's very horrible and tricky conditions. Singapore is a very tough track in the dry, never mind in the rain. Alistair, how do you feel about racing around Singapore?
Well, I am pretty good around Singapore myself. So, I do like the track, but I don't think anyone likes it when it's in the wet.
Yes, it's a very difficult circuit in the wet, and I struggle big time in the dry as it is. Many of these drivers would definitely beat me in a dry session on this track. But it's not about me, it's about these boys. And at the moment LT still on pole. Very quick lap, a 158.4 in the rain. Could probably go a wee bit faster. But we'll go with Shadow, the Racing Point, when he finally gets round to start his lap time. And in the rain it's probably better to fuel up your car for a couple of laps and get used to the way it feels in the wet. And he's kind of lost it on the right hander there, but it's probably better to fuel up the car for a few laps, have a few practice runs and then go for it, or maybe your final lap of fuel. But we'll see what Shadow opts to do. He's put it into hot lap to start off the lap. As he comes towards turn number 1, it's nice and tight to the first curb on the left, kind of squirrely for the next couple of parts of the first section of corners. But as he heads towards the first DRS straight, he's not going to have DRS obviously at the moment in this qualifying session, and he's lost the rear end kind of coming out of that corner, so it's going to affect his run to the first 90-degree left-hander. He's currently 3/10 up on his time at the moment, so it's good from him so far, but he kind of loses the back end yet again coming out of the exit of the corners. Maybe putting the power down too early is Shadow. He'll be looking to still improve on his lap time. And yeah, he's putting the power down just a wee bit too early. He's trying to get out that corners too fast and get the fastest lap, which is understandable, but obviously you don't want to put it into the wall this early into qualifying. Obviously 5 minutes to go. Coming through the Anderson Bridge. This is one of the most horrible corners in my opinion on the F1 calendar, that corner. Alistair, how do you feel about coming off the Anderson Bridge?
Well, it is a very dodgy corner as it a little bit slow on the fishing right now. It is a very dodgy corner as a bit of it sticks out in the dry, but especially in the wet while you're sliding about, very dangerous. So all the drivers will have to be watching out for that.
Yes, it is a very difficult circuit, especially the second sector. Shadow Britain did put it in the wall when he did set a purple sector 2, and Swanee has set a 57.8 to go provisional pole with just over 5 minutes remaining in the session. So the Red Bulls 1-2, they look like the two to beat so far tonight. Splinter went up to P3 as well, I missed that somewhere. But right now, no, we'll go on board with Jordan, see what he's going to be doing this time around. Kind of struggling through the main part of Sector 2. V Trixie's just gone pole position with a 57.6, the Haas driver. He's been taken down a tier from tier 1 into tier 2, so he'll be hoping to keep winning the races. And the McLaren of Tagpoles is in the wall, and his teammate just comes right past Robo. Stay on board with him, see what he can do on his lap time. He hasn't set a lap time yet, so we're yet to see what his pace is going to be like on the wet tyres. Obviously the race could be dry, so the reason why guys might be struggling is they might have a dry setup on for the race. We'll hope it is dry, and Singapore is known for a safety car or two, so hopefully we can get through turn 1 nice and clean. But we are going to go on board with LT for his final lap, see if he can get pole position if he does come out for a final lap. Yeah, he is going to. And it's a 2-minute flat from Robo. That puts him up into P9. So at the moment he's going to be happy with that, especially this late on in the session. Doesn't need to risk anything, obviously. And obviously being in the midfield is probably the worst place to be to start in this circuit. Turn 1 is very horrible. Mixed calendar for Rising Phoenix this season. Monza next week if you want to tune in for that. It'll be same time, same channel. We'll see if Robo is going to improve this time around. No, he's a second down. So we'll see if Splinter is on his lap, see if he's going to improve by anything. The Renault driver got a nice looking helmet there. Running up into some traffic. I wonder if Hyperwars Kung is going to move out the way. He does, but he's actually on an outlap. Splinter, my graphic is playing up a wee bit.
Body drop, I'll be 2 seconds.
Okay. So LT's been on provisional pole for most of the session until the 5-minute mark. Swanee and then Trixie took it off him. We are going to see if he can take pole position back in his Red Bull. He's just coming to start his lap. LT, very quick driver, know him from other racing leagues, very nice man as well. We'll be seeing if he can get pole position. And that Red Bull is one lovely car, if I do say so myself. But here we go, round the penultimate corner and then the final corner, one of the most lovely flowing in the dry, not so much in the rain. But we'll see, he's got it in hot lap heading towards turn number 1. Brakes nice and early and he's nice and tight on both curves, on the left and on the right. Swanee has retired from the session. LT kind of losing the back end a wee bit, but still going strong in the first sector. He's nice and clean through sector 1 so far. Now onto the first DRS straight. Going to be heading up towards the left-hander. We'll see what his sector 1 time split is in just a second. He's currently down 4/10, so it looks quite good so far from LT. Not quite sure on the choice of colours for the helmet, but it's not about the helmet, it's about the driving. So provisional pole and second, the front row of the grid, have both retired from the session, so they don't believe they can go faster. So LT, if he can improve by a second, he's going to take pole position at the moment. He's kind of squirrely through this section of the left-right handers, very fast, going over the Anderson Bridge now. We'll see if he can get this correct. It's very hard to get correct, but he has got that. It was very nice. He's put the power down just a wee bit too early, but we're going to see his sector 2 time split, and he's currently up by a 10, so it doesn't look like he is going to be taking pole. iStabs has just gone up into P5, and Splinter has moved up into P3, outranking LT for the third row of the grid. Second row of the grid, sorry. So that Red Bull doesn't look like, it's been a pretty poor lap after Sector 1, so it doesn't look like he's gonna get on the front row of the grid. The front row of the grid does look locked down to Swanee and Trixie. See if anyone else... Oh, big crash for the Alfa Romeo of Deadwood. We just caught that. Not pretty from that driver. And Shankar Yaded is currently down by almost a second on his time, so it looks like he's going to improve and jump up the order a wee bit. The Williams driver. And just as I say that, he's gone very squirrely through the couple of corners coming to the end of the track, so it doesn't look like his lap time is going to be as good as we once thought it was. Obviously that line not as dry as everyone wants it to be. It's a 59.5, doesn't improve. Colin 219, is he going to improve? He's going very slow through this part of the track, and it doesn't look like he's going to improve either. Jordan Oak coming up to the final couple of corners of his lap. Is he going to steal pole position? Very quick driver, he's currently down by a second on his time. He needs a bit more. And sadly LT's actually disconnected from the session, so he needs to quickly rejoin back, otherwise he's going to miss the start of the Grand Prix. Jordan, no, it doesn't look as quick enough for pole. The Ferrari man, he won't be happy with this result at the moment, down in P13, but it's a 59.2 promoting him to P10, so he's not going to get free choice of tyres at the moment unless Colin can steal. And Cracker Jack has actually come in at the last moment and took in pole position, a 57 flat from the Mercedes driver. So he's going to be on pole position. Great lap time, 6/10 ahead of the nearest challenger. Great job from Cracker Jack there. Colin though, what is the other Mercedes driver going to do? Coming towards the penultimate corner now. Is he going to be able to steal pole position? Not quite. It's a 58.9 and that puts him up into P7. That puts Jordan into 11th, so Jordan is going to get free choice of tyres, and that is your Singapore qualifying. Cracker Jack, with 12 seconds remaining, has stolen pole position from Trixie by 6/10 of a second. It was very late, he left it very, very late. And what a fast lap that was. And he's going to be the man to watch out for. Not quite sure what the weather forecast is for the race, so we're going to find that out just in a second.
Yeah, and a very good lap from Cracker Jack. He's on pole by 6/10 of a second. Very good lap from him.
Just waiting for iStabs to retire from the session, which would be nice. Or is the racing point going to be a wee bit funny? With only 3 seconds remaining in the session, so we're about to go racing in Singapore. Alistair, from what you've seen in qualifying so far, who's your prediction to win this Grand Prix?
It was a very good lap from Cracker Jack, his name was. So, but we don't know what the race is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be dry or wet, so that might change a few things up. Jordan, probably not happy with that. Down in P11.
Yeah, Jordan is not going to be happy with that, but the order for the Singapore Grand Prix: Cracker Jack and Trixie on the front row of the grid, Swanee and Splinter 3rd and 4th, LT and iStabs 5th and 6th, Colin with that late lap time brings him into 7th, Deadwood, who retired from qualifying, in 8th, Shankar in 9th, and X-Gamer in 10th, Jordan in 11th, Willow in 12th. So hopefully it's not going to be another wet session, as it's going to be extremely hard to overtake here in the wet as it is in the dry anyway for the nighttime Grand Prix, and it is dry. So everyone will get free choice of tyres as well for this Grand Prix because it was raining. So do you think anyone's going to risk it, Alistair, and starting the mediums at the front?
Tyre wear isn't too bad around this track, so might be a couple of people. We'll just have to see and find out.
Well, yes, we will, and the host has left, so I'm not quite sure what this is going to mean. But at the moment, yeah, I don't believe we're going to.
Disconnecting.
Yeah, we're not going to be starting in this session anyway. I do believe I think 3 or 4 guys have disconnected. But yeah, it could be worth starting on the medium compounded tyres. But
Yep,
obviously,
definitely.
this is one of the tracks, if you get damaged, then you are in big trouble, because once you fall back down that order, unless there's a safety car, you're not really going to have much of a chance, and all the guys that are leaving. Gonna see.
Definitely going to be pushing on the lobby.
So, I'm just going to be waiting for the invites. But while we do that, we can look at some of the old cars, can't we? What a great start to round 1 of the season. Obviously this is mine and Alistair's first time commentating together in any league, and especially it's our debut in Rising Phoenix. So some of the Team Lotus cars, they were very nice back in the day, very good once upon a time, not so much now though, we're not very good. Obviously Ferrari, one of the teams meant to be leaving Formula 1. It'd be very weird without Ferrari in F1, wouldn't it, Alistair?
Yeah, sure would.
And the McLarens, the most dominant team back in the 90s and in the 80s as well, obviously. Many famous drivers like Alan Prost, Adrian Senna, Hakkinen as well. And this is the most beautiful car to ever come out of any F1 team, a Renault 2006 Fernando Alonso's championship car. Still waiting for an invite to the new session. Kimi Räikkönen's 2007 championship winning car, Alistair probably likes that one. And then the main man, Lewis Hamilton's 2008 championship winning car, the greatest driver of all time, controversially I would say. Jenson Button's 2009 Braun GP championship winning car, the most horrible, ugly looking car I've ever seen in my entire life. And we do. Well, they did have the double diffuser back in 2009, so. And I think he did have a Kimi like Vettel does now in Rubens Barrichello. So if he had a better challenger, he might have lost the championship. But I'm going to invite Alistair to the new session. Although your name's not coming up for me. Yes, that is a good idea. So it will be a custom grid to restart the Grand Prix. So hopefully Hyper did get all the qualifying order. It is on the stream if he needs to. It would help if I could invite Alistair to the game, though it's not letting me. I think someone has weird settings on. Are you up here and offline?
I just went to players and party.
Yeah, it didn't work, it won't let me. I think it's not coming up. And they managed to get started eventually. So we do have the custom grid. I'm not quite sure, I'm pretty sure some of the drivers were saying the weather is a bit dodgy for the race. It's going to be starting off dry and then changing into wet conditions later on in the Grand Prix on obviously 50% races. So maybe we'll see some of the drivers doing alternate strategies. Maybe you're going to have to start in the mediums if it changes to wet later on in the race to save you doing an extra pit stop. Might be the safest option, but obviously if you get damage around this track then you are totally screwed. You cannot afford to get damage around a track like Singapore, same as Monaco and Hungary. But we are just about ready, some of the drivers ready now. Obviously Cracker Jack on pole position, a 57 flat. It was a great lap in the wet, so we'll see if he can turn that pole position into a race victory. Flexing off his diamond level, playing a bit too much ranked in the lock then, even though he's from Australia or New Zealand. As New Zealand, it's only 4 stars New Zealand. But Jordan, he's going to be gutted with 11th place. He's a very quick driver, Alistair. We both know him very well from other racing leagues. And did you expect a wee bit better from him?
Definitely expected better from him. But again, it was in the wet. So anything can happen in the wet.
Yes, anything can happen in Formula 1 altogether. So, just wait. I think we're waiting for one more driver. I think there was 20 drivers in that session.
No, all drivers are here.
All drivers are here. So, just waiting for some people to ready up, and then we're going to go racing finally in Singapore.
Hopefully everyone can keep it clean into turn 1.
Yes, we don't want a 2016 accident.
Yep. As we head closer and closer to the start of the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah, just waiting for the 5 red lights. Been waiting a wee bit longer than all of you guys would have hoped for the start of this Grand Prix, but we have gotten there eventually. And leave your prediction, who is going to be on the podium at the end of this race. Leave it in the live chat and we'll see at the end of the race if you're correct. Might be a shout out if you can get the top 3 in the podium correct and the fastest lap driver. Just waiting for one more guy to select his tyre compounds, even though they don't matter because we've got no qualifying. And if it's turning wet, then it doesn't really matter at all. So 19 guys on the grid, almost a full grid for round number 1. And a Mercedes on pole, just like real Formula 1. It doesn't seem to be changing much in Rising Phoenix. But it doesn't matter who gets pole position, it matters who's in first at the end of the race.
It sure does.
So please make sure you put on your setup drivers before you select your strategy, because if you don't select your setup, you're going to be running 6 wings around a horrible circuit. Alistair made that mistake plenty of times, haven't you?
Yes. Lobbies are getting restarted all the time because Codemasters cannot make a game, unfortunately.
Yes, there's servers on every game, even Dirt is not great. But we are on the grid now. No sound from the Codemasters game as usual. But we're underway for the formation lap and I still don't have any sound. And no sound still. So Cracker Jack on pole, Trixie in second, Swanee in third, Splinter fourth, LT fifth. We'll check what tyres everybody is on to see what they're going to be starting on. Everyone except Robo is going for a different compound in the softs. The top 10 except Trixie, Splinter and iStab are all on the mediums. Trixie, Splinter and iStab's on the hards. Robo Jeep on the softs. Shadow Britain, Tagpoles and Gayballs are on the hards, the rest on the mediums. What do you make of some of these strategy calls, Alistair?
I did forget it was a 50% race. So yeah, I forgot that a lot of people will be choosing mediums.
What do you make about the hard tyres? I know obviously they'll go very long, but they're going to be very slow, and if you get damage early on, then you're going to be screwed for the rest of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, so if people on hards are getting damage at the start, they will be hoping for a safety car.
I do believe the mediums was the right call. I would have started on the mediums. It is definitely the right call to make, knowing with the weather and stuff, but I'm surprised only one person's picked the softs. I think obviously starting at 13th, he's got nothing to lose, so he can do if he needs to robo, but I'm surprised not so many people have started on the mediums. It's definitely the correct call, I believe, anyway, but we'll soon find out as we're just coming to the end of this formation lap. And in this league they all seem very good at the formation lap because everyone's bunched up. They're not all taking the mickey and just waiting for the front to get their tyres cold.
There's some people on the grid.
Ah yes, the old fashioned disqualified for hitting everyone on the start.
Didn't you say earlier the weather was a bit humble jumble?
Yes, it is meant to be getting wet around halfway through the Grand Prix. The messages in the group chat were saying not exactly halfway, but round about there, so the people on the hards may be risking that the mediums will go off first and they only have to one stop before the rain comes. But obviously you need to not get damage. But we are on the grid for the Singapore Grand Prix. We have 3, we have 4, 5 red lights, and away we go for round 1 of the Rising Phoenix Grand Prix. It's a great start from Crackerjack. He goes defensive into turn 1 to defend from Swanee. LT has already taken over Splinter, and the Red Bull has gone very wide into turn 1. Trixie's dropped down into P3 already from Swanee, and he's struggling from LT at the moment. Splinter's already dropped down into P7. Deadwood Bear already up into P6. A great start from him. Stabs has dropped down the field as well. Shank is up as well. The Toro Rosa of X Gamer trying to go down the inside. He's not going to be close enough. Round the outside he goes. He gets pushed out wide. And the Splinter and Stabs as well fighting side by side they go. The both guys on the hard compounded tires. A lovely chopper cam. And the Rhino trying to defend his position. They're still side by side. The Racing Point though comes out on top. What a start to the Singapore Grand Prix, and it was nice and clean. The Alpha Romeo of Willow has already overtaken Hyper as well. You've seen it in the background there. What a start to the Grand Prix, Alistair.
Yes, everyone did keep it pretty clean. So this will be a very interesting Grand Prix with a bit of rain at the end.
Deadwood Bear has made a move on Colin for P5. So at the moment, Crackerjack has already extended his gap at the top to 2 seconds over Swanee. So it's looking like he is going to be on course to win this Grand Prix. Shanka currently under pressure from Jordan in the Ferrari, but everyone's so close at the moment. DRS obviously not activated until lap number 3. But the field is so close at the moment, except Crackerjack. He's already 3 seconds ahead of Swanee in P2. What a start from the Mercedes driver. Definitely looking like the quickest boy on the grid. Here comes Jordan though, getting closer and closer to that Williams. He moves to the left hand side and down the inside of turn 1. Jordan goes. A bit of lag. They're making babies at the moment, and Jordan still side by side trying to make that move done. And the lag is unreal. It's really hard to tell what's going on with that battle, and I think Jordan's got the position. Trixie though, he's down in 4th. He's lost out to LT, so he's going to have to try and make that position back. Splinter has just been overtaken by XM, and Splinter's round on the hard tyres. Jordan as well has been hit. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Jordan. He's got damage, and so many people have damage at the moment. I'm not sure what's happened there, but there's been one incident that's led to numerous incidents, and Jordan's dropping all the way to the end of the field, and X Gamer's overtaken Shanka for P8.
I did get a good view of that. Jordan missing his braking zone, rear-ending Splinter, causing all the chaos.
Oh, so maybe a stewards report coming out, and oh, Deadwood's hit Trixie, and that's allowed Colin through but they are side by side, and Deadwood does have enough traction to keep it in the position, but he does have damage on the mediums. He's going to have to box. Looks very heavy, so it looks like he's going to have to box for a new front wing, and a strategy change coming up for Alfa Romeo, and it looks like Colin is going to be promoted into P5. X-Gamer though, all over the back of iStabs. Racing Point versus Toro Rosso. Catch the corner a wee bit there, cheeky from the Toro Rosso. Deadwood Bear stays out even with damage, and iStabs has run wide, but he's not going to be close enough. Colin's not going to be close enough either. There's been a bit of an incident further back as well. Someone else has dropped down the Arden. But at the moment, Willow, he's fighting Robo for the final points paying position at the moment. Mediums versus softs, and Robo's gone wide, and it looks like Willow is going to get the run on him here. Car number 94. It's going to look like he's going to have to go round the outside. He's already got the move done actually. That's lovely driving from Willow, and he's up in to P10 for the final point. Deadwood, he is struggling big time. He's already lost 2.4 seconds to Trixie, and he's losing time rapidly to Colin, and Colin's going to want to get this move done sooner rather than later. X Games as well, he's trying to make the move on iStabs for P7. Early on in the Grand Prix, you don't need to make these moves just yet, except Colin down. Oh, he looked to go down the inside of Deadwood. Deadwood did leave the space. Oh, and there's been a contact, and oh no, Colin's out. Contact between iStabs and Colin's. Safety car has been called out. So Alistair, do you pit?
If I was the medium runners, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, the medium. If I was a hard runner, I would definitely not be pitting. But if I was a medium runner, I'd seriously be considering switching on to the hards, and then obviously going on to the rain potentially. But what did you make of that incident? I kind of, Colin ran wide and lost the back end, and then iStabs just T-boned him. There's not much iStabs could do. But out of the session, maybe the damage was a bit unrealistic knocking him out there. But do you think that could have been avoided?
Well, I was watching someone, they did get squeezed into the barrier. The person that squeezed into the barrier wasn't aware of their surroundings, so probably could have stopped that from happening, but unfortunately it did happen.
Well, yeah, but we do have a safety car which is going to spice up the Grand Prix. Deadwood is boxed for a new front wing, and he's gone on to the soft tyres. Is that a good call, or do you think that's going to be a mistake later on in the Grand Prix?
Well, there is still most of the front runners still have to pit, so it's 50-50, I would say.
Do you think them softs could go a decent 15 laps? Obviously that's a long time to be on the softs, but they're saying the rain is meant to come for halfway in the Grand Prix. Do you think them softs could last?
I actually think the softs are a pretty good shout, because safety cars can get for a few laps, and then with the rain, yeah, I think that's a very good shout.
That might be a good call. We'll see later on. We'll keep an eye on Deadwood Bear, see what he can do. But at the moment, Cracker Jack, he's going to be absolutely gutted. As soon as the lights went out, he was gone. 3 seconds up the road before DRS was even thought about. And yeah, his lead, his advantage has just been sliced completely, because Swanee and LT are right behind him now.
So that means he will be wanting a mega restart. Try to get a big gap once again.
Yeah, he did look like he was in complete control of this Grand Prix, and it's been total thrown up into the air of who's going to win this Grand Prix. Now obviously if he can get a good restart, and he looks like he has the pace to dominate this Grand Prix, he just needs to keep out of trouble and keep it clean, and he's going to be alright.
Easy Shuvu. Those first 3 laps, it looked like he had it absolutely under control. It looked like he was already going to take it home. But the safety car preventing that from happening, and now the whole field is going to be bunched up.
He thought about coming into the pits there. Did you see that? He kind of went to the left and kind of cut back across. He was really thinking about it. Maybe trying to tempt one of the Red Bulls into making a pit stop.
But there is no point in pitting now, because the whole field is bunched up as a Ferrari does come in. because he has no front wing.
Yes, he's had damage under the safety car.
And
Lovely
he's gone
name.
to the intermediates. Okay.
I think there may be a glitch with the game. Maybe, hopefully
Yeah.
it's a glitch, because if he is on the intermediate tyres, then... Well, I'm not sure what to say about that, to be honest.
That, if that isn't a glitch, well, yeah, he has gone on to the inters. Well, that's not. I'm a bit confused there.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused about that. Probably not the smartest idea, especially in round 1 of the season, because I don't think you're going to be sticking around too long if you're making things like that happen. Maybe we'll see him pit again to get back onto the mediums or the hards.
I can see he's even struggling under the safety car. Definitely not sure about that one.
Yes, I'm very confused, but let's just forget about that.
Let's forget about that.
So hopefully the safety car will be coming in this lap. I do expect it to be going out for one more lap, to be honest, but hopefully this lap we'll get back racing. Just over 5 laps gone. 31 lap Grand Prix. Cracker Jack has definitely been the most impressive tonight. 6 tenths he took pole position, and he's dominated the Grand Prix up until this point. Obviously early days, and a few people getting penalties for hitting each other. Rookie mistakes.
Also a very good start from Fashion in the Renault. He has went up 8 positions.
Yeah, very good start from Fashion. Very quick driver. Stabs has come off worse. He's lost 9 positions, and if you see, Shadow and Hyper both up 7 positions. So a very good start for many guys, a very horrible start for others, and everyone from 1st to 12th is yet to make a pit stop. 13th down to 18th have already stopped. Safety car in this lap.
And Ferrari at the back should be pitting because not quite sure why he even went on the inters in the first place.
So, is Cracker Jack's restart going to be a good one? Is it going to be a bad one? He's going too fast for me at the moment, and he's gone. Let's see what run the Red Bull will have on each other. LT moves to the left hand side, looks to make the move, and he's made it straight away. LT making no mistake, and Trixie as well down the inside, and X Gamer down the inside as well. Swanee's had a horrible restart. He's dropped 3 positions all the way down to P5, and they're still side by side in the middle part of sector 1, and he's lost it out to X Gamer. What a horrible start from the Red Bull. Deadwood's up into 13th, there's further action further back, and he looks to go around the outside. Swanee does the switch back, but not got enough pace. That was a horrible restart, Alistair.
Yes, Swanee definitely not what he was wanting, but hopefully he can get those positions back.
Yeah, what a horrible restart, and Trixie all over the back of LT at the moment, coming in to the middle part of this track. Very close. He's on the hard confident tyres, obviously, so he can't go longer. And LT's just clipped the wall there a wee bit, not got damage. I didn't see any come off his car. And he doesn't actually, visual glitch, but what a horrible restart for that Red Bull. And he's actually in trouble from Shanka here. Shanka's impressed me a lot tonight so far, been very quick. He's going to look like he's going to make that overtake very soon. And Shanka maybe not taking the safety car seriously, warming up his tyres.
Oh, and the rain is come out.
Yes, it is raining. Well spotted, Alistair. The rain is pouring, and at the moment Trixie is all over the back of LT. He needs to make this move before the pit stops come, because look at that, Cracker Jack's already 1.7 down the road. You can't let him get away, because if he's gone when this pit stop happens, it's going to be over. And he's actually in the worst position here, Cracker Jack, because if he pits he's going to get held up, because he's the first pit box. Fashion though, all over the back of the Racing Point of Shadow. He's kind of cut that corner a wee bit, but he is chasing down the Racing Point, and Jordan behind him. And sadly Shanka has disconnected from the session. He needs to join back as quick as he can, he's already lost 1 position from that. Fashion though, is he going to make the move on Shadow? He's not going to be close enough this time around. And Alistair, obviously nowhere near the change yet, but who do you think is going to be, do you think it's worth a risk, second or third pitting for the new tyres?
I wouldn't put this lap because the rain's not fully come out yet, so you will be sliding around if you do put this lap, I think.
The Alfa Romeo side by side coming through the middle part of the track. Willow comes out on top over Deadwood at the moment. Deadwood does have damage, and I believe both Alfa Romeos. Nope, it's just Deadwood has damage at the moment. So they're running very close. An LRT Splinter just behind the Renault. He's got damage on both sides of his wings. An X Gamer all over the back. Trixie, he's going to look to be making a move before the pit stops to Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso's having a good form here, 4th and 6th at the moment. And Hyper War Kang is going to look to make a move on Swanee before it's all said and done. SFC Jordan up into P8 now, and a VSC.
A big accident between the two Renaults and the McLaren. I'm not sure what happened, but the McLaren was in the wall with both Renaults stuck behind him.
Yeah, Splinter's got no front wing, and Robo, yeah, he's going to have to pit. Oh! Istaff is retired from the session. He was on the intermediate tyres as well, I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But, Alistair, I do have to say, Gable Slop, I hate saying that name, but the leader's in for the intermediate tyres. The leaders are in. He's on the intermediate tyres. If he can get round, he might be in a good position here.
Well, his tyres are very slidey right now because he has been driving those tyres on the dry circuit, so he actually might be in a very good position looking at the map. Yeah, he's gonna jump up there. Cracker Jack, everyone going on to the softs. Swanee, sorry. Obviously, Swanee obviously had to stay out because LT was ahead of him in LT's pit. So at the moment, Swanee's going to be dead last because he has to go around because there's no point going in the pits and getting held up. It might have actually saved him a bit of time. But what do you make of that? Do you think would have pit Alistair and been held up, or would you have gone round again? I'd probably just pitted because not quite sure the mediums would have been griffy enough to go around again. Everyone on the intermediate tyres except Gamey and Swanee. They're on the mediums and the softs, alternating way rounds down. I said it. So Cracker Jack is in a net P1, LT net P2, and Trixie net P3. Gamer in 5th at the moment. Shadow Britain has jumped up the order big time. He's in P6. Willow's overtaken Shankar because of his AI car, so he's allowed to. Jordan in P9. He's looking quite good at the moment. Hyper's dropped down big time. Obviously, he's been held up there because of the X-Gamer's pit as well, so that's why he's down the order. Falchion in P11. On LRT Splinter, he's the one that's lost that big time. He started P4. He's already down in 15th. He's had a few incidents though. He's going to look to get a better restart and get underway again. And oh! Side by side Trixie and LT. LT's run wide and they're fighting under this kind of VSC has ended. The LT defending very well there. And oh no, look at that. Swanee's 3 seconds ahead. He's going to be left open big time. He's going to be down in last place. But Trixie fighting LT for P2. P3 right now, but net P2. Who is going to take the second step on the podium? Trixie getting a lot of dirty air through that corner. And look at the rain, it's horrible. I'm going to think we'll be in the wet soon. And Swanee goes on full wet. Yeah, maybe that might be the right call actually, because it looks extremely wet already. And LT kind of holding his position at the moment. He might get a run on him onto the first DRS straight. No DRS anymore because the rain has come out yet again to play in Singapore. LT breaking that slipstream. Trixie should be getting back in it. He's in overtake. Nowhere near close enough to make a move. And actually now the wets have come out. It's spread the field wide open. LT's ran extremely wide. And the rain might have actually ruined this Grand Prix because the field is not as close as it was and we're not going to get these good battles that we had. Hopefully, oh no, LT's lost the back end. Here comes Trixie though. It's not going to be a big enough straight to make a move. One of the Alfa Romeos at the back has made a mistake. I think it is Deadwood. Yeah, he's dropping down the order. Not a good showing from him tonight. With a 10-second lead, so even in the wet he is still controlling this Grand Prix.
Yeah, that is pretty scary how much he is dominating this Grand Prix. The top second to fifth though, all separated by 2 seconds, so we could have a wee bit of a battle on for the podium positions. Splinter, one of the, I think it's Gable, yeah, he's round and lost damage. No front wing for Deadwood, and our VSC. So the race is neutralised once again. So, race neutralised once again. Alistair, what are you making of these loads of safety cars so much?
Well, it will probably not really affecting Cracker Jack because he does just gain in seconds.
Shadow Britain has actually gone off. Sorry to interrupt there, Alistair. He was making a move on X Gamer, but he ran wide, and X Gamer did go back through.
Yeah, Cracker Jack already got a 11-second gap. Even with little short VSC, nothing. He is back up to the gap.
Yeah, Trixie LT is struggling big time at the moment because he just can't quite get the grip under the intermediates. Maybe it is time for full wets because look at the rain, it's horrendous. But he is, and this is the move. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to be making the move this time around. LT goes a wee bit defensive, parks the car really nice actually, LT, and he's hit that curb. But you're not going to be making an overtake at this part, so he is safe at the moment. But yeah,
quite can't find his feet in the rain. Very squirmy.
Trixie does look like he is going to make this move sooner rather than later, and Willow actually starting to catch up to this pack for the podium places, so we could have another car joining the battle for the final step on the podium. Jordan as well, he's catching Shankar the William. So Jordan looking to make his 8th into 7th, gain 2 more points to start off his season. Robo has actually been overtaking Swanee for P11, then Wet's not doing the job Swanee would have wanted. But if he can stay this close, he's going to get P2 at the moment if everyone has to pit again. Trixie, that gap is staying at 3 to 4 tenths. He can't get close enough to make a move. And it's, look how close, he's literally pushing LT through the corners. But on the straight, he must be running a lot more downforce than LT because he just can't quite get the straight line speed.
Yes, definitely very, very close between LT and Trixie. I think he will definitely get the move done soon.
Trixie is on.
LT is very slidey.
Yeah, LT's struggling to get his feet in the track at the moment, but Trixie just, as you've seen there on the stream, Trixie just doesn't have the straight line speed, so he must be running a little bit more aero than LT, because LT's fine in the straights, but when he gets to this part of the circuit, he just can't quite get it correct. As I say that, he's just taking them 2 corners beautifully. But what a lovely camera angle, and Willow has picked up a penalty, so that might ruin his chances of a podium. And yeah, Trixie, he needs to make that move soon because X Gamer is slowly and surely catching. And then Shadow behind, and Willow has got some pace in the intermediates because he's caught up right up to these guys even when they're not battling.
Willow has definitely come out of nowhere. We haven't really been focusing on him.
Yeah, Cracker Jack. 13 seconds up the road. What a Grand Prix from the Mercedes man. Still on this battle for P2 though. LT versus V Trixie. Haas versus Red Bull. The battle of the energy drinks. Usually in real F1 you would say Red Bull would come out on top, but at the moment I would definitely think Trixie is going to get this move done surely. But yeah, you can see, look, just doesn't have a straight line speed at all, does he?
No, definitely running a lot of downforce, as it is Singapore. But some people do run quite low downforce at this track, just for the straight line speed, but it is whatever the driver wants.
Yes, this was one of the tracks you need to be comfortable around. You don't want to be... I know obviously you want to be fast, but you need to feel comfortable. And LT's gone off here, and this could be Trixie's chance. LT's kind of swiped across the circuit there. And yeah, he kind of swiped across a wee bit to defend his position. Maybe a bit unfair, you could say. But he is in P2, that's all he's going to care about at the moment. Trixie though, looking to go round. Down the inside, this time around not going to be close enough though.
Then you might get a move into this corner. Nice.
Very dangerous, and LT's actually lost the rear end again. Been saying that a lot in this Grand Prix. But Trixie just can't get that straight line speed. Just doesn't have the exit from the corners.
Yeah. Once again, it's very slidey.
Yeah, the mediums are going to be... not the mediums, oh my god. The wets are definitely going to be coming sooner rather than later because the rain is getting heavier. And I believe these guys are struggling. The gap between Cracker Jack and LT's coming down, but I don't think Cracker Jack cares about that at the moment because it is 12 seconds. There is someone off, I believe it is Deadwood, and yeah, he's spending more time in the wall than on the race circuit. But look at this. X-Gamer is pitting. Is he going to be the one to risk it and go on to the wets? And where's he going to come out in retrospect? To Swanee.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going on to the wets because the rain, it just looks like it's getting heavier and heavier.
We'll find out. We'll watch the pit stop from the Toro Rosso boys, and the wets are on.
Oh, my screen. He's got intermediate on.
On mine, he's got the wets at the moment, so we'll see who's right.
He has got the wets now. On my
so, he's going for the undercut. The people to watch now are LT and Trixie. Obviously, we've been watching them the whole Grand Prix, but will they come out ahead of X-Gamer? And more importantly, does Cracker Jack have a big enough gap to stay in first? Maybe X-Gamer's caught out the race leader here. We'll soon see what's going to happen. Swanee's actually gone back onto the inters, so maybe the wets are not working. Maybe it's a risk from X-Gamer, and maybe it might not pay off.
Yeah, it's going to be... It's a bit... Just driver preference at this point.
Yeah, it depends. Obviously, you can't see anything in the game, but there might be a dry line for the drivers at the moment. Still, obviously, that rain doesn't look like it's giving anybody a dry line, but Willow is still keeping that gap behind Shadow. It's around 6 to 8 tenths every lap. There's a yellow flag, and Hyper's out. Oh, he's totally binned that. Just at the end of the Sector 2 split, beginning of Sector 3. Yes, safety car again. And Cracker Jack's not pit. He came out. Cracker Jack. Oh, Trixie's going to pit. LT doesn't.
Very unlucky for Cracker Jack. Just passes the pit lane and then the safety car comes out. Very, very unlucky.
Trixie and Shadow have pit. I think they're going to be P1 and P2.
Yep, definitely, because Cracker is going to have to pit, because his intermediates will be rotten.
That is very unlucky for Cracker Jack, and that would be a horrible way to lose a Grand Prix. But LT and Willow did the same thing. They've all stayed out. And all of them boys who have stopped are on the wets. Jordan stopped, Shanka, Trixie.
Everyone going on to the wets.
And I tell you what, X-Gamer's going to be furious. Look how close he is to Trixie. He would have got him if the safety car didn't come out, I believe. Obviously, Trixie might not have boxed if the safety car didn't come out. Oh, but no, what a disaster for Cracker Jack. It looks like he's going to lose this Grand Prix. I'm going to hand you over to Alistair for a couple of minutes, because under the safety car, I'm going to run it to the bathroom.
Well, yeah, not sure, but yeah, Cracker Jack very unlucky, just passing the pit lane, and then Hyper decides to bring out the safety car for the second time in the Singapore Grand Prix. But anyway, Cracker Jack leading, but he will have to box. So from Cracker Jack, LT Cobalt, then Willow PG Killer, then to Trixie, and then X Gamer, then Shadow, and Sanka You're Dead, then Jordan, then Fashion, Robo, Splinter, Gamey, Swanee, Deadwood, Gay Ball, Slop, pretty weird name there, but you know, and then Tadpool at the back. So, yes, the top three, top two have pitted. They will be very, very far back, and Willow does stay out.
Well, they do come into the pits. Could that be a strange call? We're not sure if the weather is going to get better. But yeah, they're going to be right at the back. Well, not right at the back, because there's a few cars still coming around, but they're going to be down the order. And it's going to be some drive for them to get back up. And they're both on the intermediates still, Alistair.
Yes.
Cracker Jack has got a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane. So,
He is going to be furious.
yeah, this is what a great weekend. Well, not weekend, but what a great kind of day it's been for him so far. It's just got total into disaster at the moment. And V Trixie is in net P1 realistically, because Willow's not going to get them in. Well, he could actually get them intermediates to the end of this Grand Prix if the weather stays the right way. But Trixie is in prime position to win this. X Gamer, Shadow, Britain, Shanka, and even Jordan, if Jordan can catch up. You wouldn't expect it to be saying Jordan was winning this Grand Prix, nothing against his pace or anything, but just how where he was in the race before the safety car.
Yes. Jordan is in a pretty good position. Might be able to get a podium or something. And if he does, he will be very happy with that. Starting P11 in qualifying, probably not happiest with that.
Willow in P1, I don't think he's going to have to stop again actually. To be honest, I think he could get them to the end. Obviously, this is weather permitted, and look at the rain, that is horrible. You can see it splashing off the track. You can even hear it because there's no engine sounds. But a few of these drivers, they're going to have wet race suits, overalls, at the end of this Grand Prix. And Deadwood spending his usual time on the wrong part of the racetrack.
Disaster race for Deadwood. He was quite far up there at one point, but now it has just flopped and is just struggling. Can't control the car. The car is controlling him.
Yes, that is one thing you cannot afford at Singapore. You have to be controlling the car, not letting the car control you. Jordan and Shanka are fighting under the safety car. Good to know. I believe this is just some visual glitches at the moment. Obviously, safety car very, very broken. Sorry for the big black box on the screen.
As we do have to watch the boring safety car go around, probably
One last time.
Probably will come in the flat, and then there will be the second restart of this Grand Prix.
Well, the first restart after the safety car, Cracker Jack had a brilliant one. Hopefully Willow can have the same effect.
Now, Cracker Jack is down in P7. He will have to get an incredible restart if he's wanting to win this race, especially with his 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, that is correct, Alistair, and he is probably behind one of the hardest drivers to overtake, because Jordan is very quick, and I tell you now, he is not one to give up a fight anytime soon or easily. He is fighting for a podium, so he's not going to give this battle up anytime soon.
Yeah, as I do race with him, he is a very good driver, very clean to battle with as well. Just a very good driver overall.
Yeah, we both battled him in another league, obviously. Jordan was probably looked like he was going to win that championship the whole season, but the Alfa Romeos had something else to say about that safety car in this lap. So we're about to get back under racing finally, and let's see, is Willow going to have the same effect as Crackerjack on the restart?
He will be wanting a very good restart, as I do think he will have to box again. He will be needing a big gap if he is wanting to box again.
Maybe risking another safety car, because there's already been two halfway into the Grand Prix, so maybe a third. But I'm not sure. He might have to pit again, but I think he could get them inters to the end of the race. But we're about to find out. Let's see his restart. Safety car coming into the pits. He needs to wait. He's really braking late. He's not going. And there he is, off the line. It is a good restart for him, but it's not a good restart for Trixie. Sorry, it is. The camera angle putting me completely off. But X Gamer and Shadow side by side into turn 1. Shadow kind of getting pushed out a wee bit. Not going to be happy with that, Shadow. And Jordan's already overtaken Shanka. And he's up into P5, looking to make a move for P4. Comes Jordan. Shanka and Britain having a fight as well. And Britain gets on top. Jordan into P5. Shanka's lost it there. And Jordan now into P5. So many battles at the start of this Grand Prix. Swanee as well, battling with Robo, and Robo looks to get that move done, and he has done, up into P9.
So there was a little bit of mess into the turn 1, that Crackerjack has only gained 1 position so far. It's probably not really what he was looking for.
Yes, he would have been looking for a wee bit more than that, but he is behind Jordan still, so he is following Jordan. Another safety car. What happened there?
I honestly don't know.
Gayball's DNF'd. Well, 3 safety cars.
Yep.
And 2 VSCs, is it? 5 safety cars altogether?
Yep. The 3rd safety car in 1 race. Well, another 3 or 4 boring laps. Anyway, Willow did stay in 1st place. Crackerjack gaining 1 position. Jordan also gaining a position because Stanka did lag out.
Yeah, he's dropped down the order a few times because of the internet problems, and that's very unlucky for him. But obviously no one's going to pit because, well, obviously loads of people are going to pit here. The rain is calming down. Jordan, Trixie, X Gamer in the pits. Britain. Wow, actually loads of people coming into the pits. And Willow staying out. He's refusing to pit this race. Just no boxing for him. He's going to stay out all day on those intermediates.
And Crackerjack obviously staying out because he only pitted a couple laps ago. So Crackerjack will probably be very happy with another safety car into P2. So pretty much half the field does box for a new set of tyres.
And they're all on the intermediates. Every single driver on the intermediates now. Well, yeah, Crackerjack has been saved by that 3rd safety car, allowing him to jump back up the order. So, it could save him. But he does have that 5-second time penalty though, doesn't he? So, that mistake might cost him as well.
Yes, it definitely will. And didn't he get for crossing the pit lane exit?
Yeah, a very silly penalty to pick up, just like going in too fast, which I'm very prone to doing, but crossing the white line is worse than speeding. Oh, it's just,
very uncommon
yeah, you don't see
mistake.
that much. You don't see that mistake much.
Oh, but
Um,
anyway, the third safety car.
yes. What have you made of the Grand Prix so far, though, Alistair?
Uh, very interesting as Cracker Jack leading and then down to 7th and then back into P2. And probably will get past Willow because Willow's tyres are 10 laps old and Jack's tyres are only 3 laps old. So yes, it'll be a very interesting restart for the third time.
Yeah, Crocker Jack has been very impressive, very quick so far. Swanee happened to P3, he's going to be happy with that after being down the order as well. LT back up as well. So, we could be on. Well, we are on for 12 laps or so of a great battle for the points. But, yeah, we're going to see how many laps it's going to be before the safety car comes in. Hopefully it comes in this lap because it is really hard to commentate over this part of the Grand Prix when it's happened so many times. And it has allowed for some fantastic racing because obviously everyone's close and the pit stops ain't bunching up the field, ain't spreading out the field, so it is allowing for exciting racing, but they're just too many laps behind that horrible Mercedes car that we don't like seeing because it usually means that guys are not finishing the races, and Gamey has a 10-second time penalty, but that doesn't matter, he's down in P13.
Some damage between Robo Jeep getting some damage by hitting the rear of Sanka.
So
hopefully the safety car does come in this lap and will not come out again because we have had it enough this race.
Crocker Jack was very close to hitting the back of Willow as well. It would have been a disaster for him to pick up another penalty.
Anyway, I do think Cracker Jack is the favourite to win this race on the safety car in the slot.
We're finally going to get back racing. Hopefully it lasts longer than half a lap. Willow going to slow up the field a lot earlier than he did last time. And look at the rain is virtually just about to be going. We might see some soft running before the end of this Grand Prix.
So as we do come round for the third restart of the Grand Prix.
And oh, Willow's backed the field so up and he's hit Cracker Jack. And they've restarted and that's allowed Swanee to get down the round the outside into turn 1 maybe. Not quite. Cracker Jack's pace is going to be too much. Someone's dropped down the field. It's actually Shanka. Fashion's jumped LT, or they're battling. LT's still struggling on them intermediate tyres. Not good for him. Splinter's dropped down. Shanka's dropped down as well. There's contact between him and Deadwood. Deadwood getting in the waters again and his teammate Gami. And what a horrible restart. And oh no! What is he doing? Shanka's just tried to hit his teammate out of the Grand Prix. That's not what you want to see. Trixie though looking to make a move on X Game for P6. Round the outside they go. Fashion's just made a move on Swanee for P3 and Cracker Jack's already in the lead of the Grand Prix. I didn't see that. Sorry about that guys, I missed that one. Too busy watching so many fan battles on the track. But Cracker Jack looks like he's got this Grand Prix in the bag with 11 laps to go.
Yes, already got 1.6 second gap, so he will be needing a 5 second gap at the end of the race if he wants to win because he does have his 5-second time penalty.
Jordan being held up so much by all the way down to P5, up to P5, sorry, he just can't get past anyone at the moment because the spray is so much in his face. Side by side go Trixie and X Gamer. Trixie can't get that move done. He does the switchback, but doesn't have enough traction to get that move done, and up into P6. Yellow flags yet again. It's just for a lap car moving out the way though. The guys are so close. Fashion slowly catching Willow. He's going to try to get that P2 and get that podium. 3 extra points for him for next week. Jordan, no, this is the closest guy on track. Jordan to Shadow. And the rain has stopped. It's just what's the waters left on the track now. The rain has stopped. Do you think there's going to be enough time to stop again and go into the slicks?
I think maybe about 5 laps to go. Some people might try jump onto the softs, but Jordan pushing Shadow around the track.
Yes, as in my famous streams in the past, and people don't like, they're that close you could throw a blanket over them. But Jordan is in trouble. Not Jordan, sorry, X Gamer is in trouble from V Trixie here this time around. Overtake in both cars, in overtake. X Gamer goes to the left hand side to defend from the Haas. A bit of lag going to allow them, and yeah, the lag might not have been close as I thought they were because of the lag on my side. Deadwood on as usual onto the track. Splinter though, he's going to be disappointed. He was up starting in 4th, he's all the way down in 11th. He's not even going to score a point as it stands at the moment. Here comes Trixie though. How do we look? But not going to make a move on that part of the circuit. A lovely camera angle. You can see the 5 cars: Toro Rosso, Haas, Racing Point, Ferrari, and then the McLaren as well. Even the Toro Rosso up ahead in P6, and then the 2 Red Bulls just ahead. A lovely section of corners and a lovely camera angle, if I say so myself.
He's very Kobo hits the wall, which X Gamer allows X Gamer to get very close up and maybe try to look for him, but not quite at this part of the track. Maybe on the start finish straight down into turn 1 he will look for a move.
Yeah, LT has damage big time on both sides. On his right hand, the end plate, got no end plate at all. That's going to be making it very difficult. And Trixie, not Trixie, sorry, X Gamer, I've been impressed by him. He's been brave enough to make moves in the wet, and I think he's going to get the move done. Cracker Jack's in the pit, and he's got another 5-second time penalty. Loads of people in the pits actually. It is time for the soft compounded tyres.
Yes, the truck has dried very quickly, and Jordan, Robo, Splinter all stays out. Maybe not quite dry enough for them quite yet, as pretty much the whole field pits except from the top 3. So very interesting. Maybe spicing up the race big time.
Yeah, well, it is definitely time for slicks, I believe. If you look at the track, it looks ready for slicks. But a weird call from the front 3 to stay out, maybe risking winning the Grand Prix. But it's worth a risk. If you think you can win the race, then you're more entitled to do it. Of course you are. Splinter up into P2, finally getting what he deserves because he's been so unlucky. On LT, he's had a disaster. Such a good qualifying, he's just dropped down the order completely.
Well, without his 14, because he did get a front wing change. And do you think Softs would make it to the end?
No, I don't think the softs would have made it to the end if you pitted now.
Well,
Splinter. Splinter's made a move on Jordan for P1, and that wall's actually sticking out a lot, so you have to be careful around there because that wall might take you out a wee bit.
It's not. Wall is very dangerous.
So Splinter leads from Jordan, from Robo, from Willow, from Swanee, X Gamer, Finish, and Cracker Jack, who's fallen down the order, so his pit box is kind of overthrown him. And at the moment, we were complaining, saying that his tyres might not last. We were having a bit of a debate, Alistair, if he could win this Grand Prix. But he's actually in net P1.
Sorry to cut you off, but Splinter has stayed out for another lap on the intermediates.
He's going to go to the end and try to win this race, but at the moment, Willow's going to win this race.
Yes, he definitely is.
We were saying that he's not going to win this race because he can't last on the intermediates, but I don't know what's happened, but out of nowhere, Willow is in prime position to win this Grand Prix, and he's catching Splinter at the rate of naught at the moment.
Splinter has definitely made a huge mistake staying out for another lap. Not quite sure what he's fought there, but anyway, Willow.
He's already made a move.
Can't speak, but Willow, yeah, Splinter, definitely not the right idea staying out in our vintage.
So Willow, out of nowhere, is in the lead of this Grand Prix, and he's 7 seconds ahead, 9 seconds, sorry, ahead of Swanee. So Willow is going to win this Grand Prix, it looks like. I don't want to give him the commentator's curse or anything, but it looks like he's in prime position to win this Grand Prix. X-Gamer's trying to steal second place of Swanee, well, third at the moment, but I don't think Splinter is going to be able to survive on them tyres. Fashion has lost the rear end, and that's Crackerjack going to look for the move. He's got 10 seconds worth of penalties, and that wall's kind of put him off a wee bit. I know, out of nowhere, there comes Gamey trying to make the move on Crackerjack for P6, but no, he can't quite get the move done. Trixie behind them as well. He's lost out big time in this battle, actually. He's dropped down the order. Swanee on Splinter has made that move, and X-Gamer's about to make the move as well. Yeah, he's going to have to pit eventually. His teammate Fashion, yep, he's made the move too, and in comes Splinter.
But if Willow doesn't make any mistakes, he will definitely be winning this Grand Prix.
Yeah, he sure is. He's got plenty of pace in that car. He's looked very strong tonight.
Yes, because we weren't sure in the middle of the race. He was like all over the. He was everywhere.
Oh, Crackerjack's hit the wall. Sorry to interrupt, Alistair. He's hit the wall and got damage. That's his race completely over, did pretty much. The game is definitely going to make that move soon if you've got damaged front wing. Not great from him. Swanee though is pressurised McLaren round again, but X-Gamer putting the pressure on Swanee, trying to get that move done before the end of the race to get P2.
We definitely thought Crackerjack was going to win this race, but he did get 10-second worth of penalties and now has damage, so that is his race over.
So with 6.5 laps to go from P3 all the way down, sorry, P2 all the way down to 7th, they're the closest battles. Who is going to be on the podium? Let us know in the comment section who is going to be P2 and P3. Is it going to be Swanee, X-Gamer, Fashion, Crackerjack, Gamey, or Trixie? Who's going to be? Even Shadow Britain, he's there too. Who is going to be on the 2 podium positions?
Well, if Will doesn't make a mistake, he is definitely on this Grand Prix, but anyway, 2nd to 7th, very, very close, so this last 6 laps will be very exciting.
Yeah, X-Gamer pushing Swanee through the final couple at the start of the track actually. He's going to look to make the move, he's going to have DRS. Swanee's locked the front right tyre up, braking a bit too hard. In overtake he goes, trying to make that move. DRS open. Not got this. Is he going to have the straight line speed? Not quite. He leaves it late on the brakes, tries to go around the outside. Swanee places the car beautifully, and that allows him to keep P2. Gamey's made a move on Crackerjack. Sorry, Alistair.
While you were focusing on P2 and 3, I have been focusing on P4 to 7. Very, very... Oh, there's a massive accident.
Yeah, Trixie and Gamey have had an incident. They've clashed into each other. Hillfogs in Sector 2. That was a horrible incident. Trixie, I'm not quite sure who was to blame there. I can't remember which car was on the left or the right, but the car on the left definitely pushed the car into the right, into the wall. That's very harsh to judge. And Swanee is struggling. The soft tyres of Fashion have gone off big time. They're struggling already, but Gamer is catching Swanee and he's pushing him through the corners. He needs to get on the straight and get this move done sooner rather than later, because he has got a little bit more hours than the Red Bull, the sister team. Can he get that move done? Can he get P2? 18 points heading into Monza. Can't get that corner right though, can he?
Nope, sure can't.
Here comes Shadow Britain on gamey for P6. Racing Point versus Williams, and he's got that move done, and into P6 goes Shadow Britain. Cracker Jack on Fashion. It's going to be the next move potentially being made. Here he comes. Might not matter because of penalties. He moves to the left hand side. Fashion doesn't try to defend it too much, and Cracker Jack moves up into P4. X Gamer though, slowly trying to make this move. He needs to make a move sooner rather than later, because he's going to run out of laps eventually. But, oh, Swanee locked up yet again. He's struggling. Those tyres are struggling. He's had a problem with his heating his tyres up all race. His restarts have been awful. And X Gamer's just wanting to make that move. He's getting impatient. Horrible camera angle, getting hit by the wall all the time. It's just a visual glitch, I think, on my part. Swanee though, he is so slow through any combination of corners, and it's just allowing X Gamer to catch up. But then the downforce factor is just not helping X Gamer on the straights, because Swanee's running so little downforce that he's just pulling away. This could be the one though, if he can get these corners right. He just can't get that corner right. The dirty air is ridiculous, and he can't get the corner right, which is not allowing him any favours. Deadwood Bear's actually overtaken Gamey. Gamey's into the pits. So Deadwood Bear, we might have been slacking him off a wee bit, saying he could have done a good finish and he was down in 16th, but he's actually back up into 7th, scoring a good amount of points.
Yeah, just like the Willow that we were talking about. Definitely don't think he was going to win the race. Definitely thought he mucked up his strategy, but clearly hasn't, as he is in first place by 14 seconds.
X Gamer round the outside of Swanee makes P2 his, and Cracker Jack going down the inside can't quite get P3. But what a lovely move from X Gamer. We caught it on Chopper Cam on the stream. Lovely overtake from the Toro Rosso, and he'll be wanting that promotion after that one. Shadow Britain on the back of Fashion for P5. I think their positions will be sorted out by penalties. But for pride, you want to make the move on the track. But yes, Willow, a 16-second gap at the front. He's looked very, very impressive, and we did say we weren't expecting him to win the race, but he's proved us wrong. Did get a wee bit lucky with safety cars and stuff, but he has deserved to win this race, truly. He's led for about 27 laps, not 27 laps, been 27 laps, but he led for most of these 27 laps. LT has run a wee bit wide, allowing Splinter to try and make that move around the outside. We're not going to make that move on LT, he's going to defend it, yep. Down the inside Splinter goes, and he gets the move done. Into P9 he goes. 2 points for the Renault. Deadwood is slowly catching this park actually. All over the back of Shadow Britain. But Swanee, he's keeping up with X Gamer actually. I would have expected X Gamer to kind of pull away, but these three kind of keeping each other for company at the moment.
Probably going to go for a move here. Definitely catching. Goes to the inside. And down the inside he goes. Oh, and he's gone very deep.
He's outbroke himself and he's lost both positions, and Cracker Jack going to go around the outside of X Gamer. X Gamer P2, Cracker Jack P3. Swanee outbroke himself, and that has cost him a podium position at the moment, obviously. Splinter Fashion down the inside, he's outbroke himself as well, and Deadwood up into P6. What a disaster some of these drivers are having.
Deadwood, I think, was in last at one point in this race, has climbed all the way back up and does have the fastest lap, so that'll be an extra point.
Yeah, you never give up in Formula 1, as you can see here tonight. Cracker Jack does have a big 10-second penalty, so unless it was a stop goal was served under the pit stop, so could be about 5 seconds, which is going to drop him to just behind Deadwood. He's going to finish P6, I think, Cracker Jack, and if it's 10 seconds, oh my god, he might not even finish. He might finish just behind Jordan, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is 10 seconds, which means he will finish P8. So, big disaster for Cracker Jack. Trixie's out.
Yeah, Trixie's did good this race. I thought he was going to get a podium tonight. He's DNF'd. The safety cars kind of tricked him out a wee bit, so that's forced him to be unlucky in the running. But yeah, Deadwood Bear was very disappointing at the start of this Grand Prix actually, but he's turned it around and he's fighting for P5. He has got the fastest lap. He's going to be hoping for a double-digit points finish tonight. He does deserve it after his comeback. He's captain and captain, but he's not going to make it this time around, but he will be hoping to run out. And actually, Cracker Jack and X Gamer are having a wee scrap here. And Swanee's wanting to get involved for P2. Swanee! Oh, he's taken out X Gamer! What is he doing? He's taken out X Gamer. That's cost him a podium. And it's going to cost him, actually, points to Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack won't finish any lower than 7th now. But that was a silly move, Alistair, wasn't it? And it's going to probably cost him in the stewards box.
I don't know what he was hoping for there. That was an absolutely ridiculous move. Just don't know. Don't know what he was hoping for there. He was never going to get that move done.
It's crazy to think that X Gamer is definitely going to have P2 at the moment. Honestly, 2 and a bit laps to go. Shadow going to get a podium. He's going to be happy with that unless Deadwood has anything to say. But yeah, that was a crazy move. I don't understand why he did it, but obviously under the pressure of racing, if you want to get the podiums, you do risk it, don't you? But yeah, I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there.
Me neither, but Deadwood could actually get a podium here if he can get the move done on Shadow.
Yeah, I do think Shadow has a couple of penalties as well. Deadwood might, I'm not quite sure. The penalty system, and he's just picked up his own man, and Shadow's ran wide. Wee bit deep into that corner, but he's going to keep it at the moment.
Check for penalty right now.
Thank you.
Deadwood, 5 seconds.
Here comes Deadwood on the left hand side. Into the 90-degree left-hander. He's going to push that racing point out, and they've made contact. Shadow keeping the position off circuit. I'm not quite sure if that's legal. They're still side by side. Lovely racing. Nice and clean between Deadwood and Shadow. And Deadwood pushes Shadow out and takes P4, which will be P3 come the end of the race.
Yeah, Deadwood. Have just checked, and Deadwood does have a ridiculous amount of penalties.
So
maybe not quite a podium for him, unfortunately.
That's sad for Deadwood. He's been very impressive getting back up into P4. You can be happy with P4 on the road, might not be happy with the position he finishes on points with penalties on his points, but it's been very impressive. Jordan, he's slowly catching fashion with Willow starting his final lap of the Grand Prix now. Who is going to take the final position on the podium? Is it going to be Deadwood? Is it going to be Shadow, Fashion? Maybe even Jordan? The gap's penalty's a bit ridiculous at the moment. Field kind of bunching up a wee bit now. Jordan not going in the slipstream, no point battling it, to be honest. I think Fafin has a few penalties anyway. So the drivers will know. They can ask Jeff, their race engineers, what's going on. X Gamer, you do not need to make the move. Don't make. Just died as well, halfway through commentating. Thank you very much. Dual Shock. Deadwood actually might make a move on X Gamer here. Where's this pace come from?
Seriously don't know, but what would it matter, because Deadwood again had a ridiculous amount of penalties, probably 20 plus seconds. But I'm sure Shadow does have a few as well, so.
Here comes Jordan all the way pushing Fashion round the section. They're so close, you can cover them with a blanket, it's unreal. Here comes Jordan, he's going to look to make a move. Can't quite get it done. Oh, Fashion actually lost the back end a wee bit there. But it doesn't matter at the moment, because all that matters right now is this man, Willow. He had a poor qualifying, he didn't have the greatest race to be honest, but out of nowhere, Willow wins the Singapore Grand Prix round number 1. Alfa Romeo on the top step of the podium, brilliant result for him. Cracker Jack is going to finish second on the road. Going to wait and see where he finishes after penalties. What a race it could have been for him. X Gamer going to finish P2. And Cracker Jack's actually going to finish P3. He'll be on the podium. Shadow Britain P4. We're going to see where Jordan and Fashion finish in respect to Deadwood. They'll be... Actually, Deadwood will keep 5th. Jordan 6th. Fashion 7th. Swanee and Splinter fighting onto the line, and Splinter gets it. Swanee in 9th. And Gamey's going to come round for the final point here in Rising Phoenix League Racing. LT, what it could have been for that man. He's going to come home and finish in P11. The fireworks, a lovely display from Singapore fans. Shankar, what it could have been for him. He's disconnected loads. It's been very unlucky for him. He's going to finish P12. Robo's going to finish P13. Actually, it's going to be the other way around. Robo going to get the AI just on the line. And Tagpoles, respect for finishing your Grand Prix, mate, down 3 laps. A big respect. We're going to watch the podium celebration, and then that will be it from me and Alistair tonight. But what a Grand Prix, Alistair, very entertaining. And how do you feel about the debut for us on Rising East Phoenix?
This is a great way to start the commentating debut for Rising Phoenix. What a race. Very, very interesting.
Well, there you are. There you are. Phoenix Racing League. It's going to be Willow the Alfa Romeo on pole, winning the great race. And the Toro Rosso in P2 and a Mercedes in P3. What it could have been for Cracker Jack. He probably should have won that Grand Prix. But Willow, the strategy was correct for him and very impressive. And a great victory from him. I've been your host, Elite Shots. I've been joined by Alistair, and I hope to see you all tomorrow for the Monza Grand Prix, or next week for round number 3. And I hope you all enjoyed the Grand Prix.